Alright guys, this is chapter 2-6 and we're going to continue solving problems, but this time we're going to use formulas to help us solve them. So some of the common formulas that I want you to be familiar with are the area of a rectangle, the area of the perimeter of a triangle, the distance formula, the volume of a rectangular solid, converting from Fahrenheit to Celsius, and there are many others that you will need to know how to use. Now, I will always give you the formulas when you have a quiz or a test, so you don't need to memorize them. So let's take a look at our first one. We need to convert the temperature 5 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, so we're going to use a formula to solve this equation. So I'm going to substitute in 5 for the C in Celsius. So that gives me Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times 5 plus 32. Now all I have to do is simplify. I can use my calculator to do that math. Alpha y equals, type in my fraction, 9/5 times 5. That gives me 9 plus 32 is 41. So Fahrenheit equals 41 degrees. Now, this would have been a more difficult problem if they had asked us to do the opposite, to convert 41 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So let's try that. Obviously, we should get the answer of 5 degrees Celsius. So we're going to plug in 41 equals 9/5 times C plus 32. Backwards through PEMDAS, the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 32 from both sides. That gives me 9, other color. 41 minus 32, 9 equals 9/5 times C. And then remember, to undo multiplication, we do division. So we're going to divide both sides by 9/5. 9 divided by 9/5 using my calculator. 9 divided by alpha y equals 9/5. And as I expected, C equals 5 degrees. Let's try another example. Alright. Charles Picot can afford enough fencing to enclose a rectangular garden with a perimeter of 140 feet. If the width of the garden is to be 30 feet, find the length. So, perimeter of a garden, a rectangular garden, perimeter equals 2L plus 2W. That's our formula. L is the length of the garden. That's what we're trying to find. So that'll be our variable. W is the width of the garden. The width is 30 feet. And P, the perimeter of the garden, 140. So what I need to do now is plug in what I know. 140 equals 2L plus 2 times 30. And now all I have to do is simplify and solve. I want to make sure both sides of my equation are simplified. So I'm doing 2 times 30, which gives me 60. Now backwards through PEMDAS, subtract 60 from both sides. That gives me 80 equals 2L. Divide both sides by 2. And I get that L equals 40. The length of the garden would be 40 feet. All right, let's try another. This one's a little bit more complicated. This is also a perimeter problem. It says the width of a rectangle is 2 centimeters less than its length. The perimeter of the rectangle is 16 centimeters. What is the length of the rectangle? So again, we're going to use P equals 2L plus 2W. And we need to figure out what we know. We know that P equals 16. Take a look at the question. It says, what is the length? We don't know the length. L is our length. And it says the width is 2 centimeters less than its length. So W equals 2 centimeters less than its length. So now I need to substitute in what I know. Instead of P, I will write 16. Instead of L, guess I'm not writing anything instead of L. L stays L. And instead of W, L minus 2. So let's plug in what we know. 16 equals 2L plus 2W. W is L minus 2. Now I can solve my equation. First thing I'm going to do is distribute. Simplify both sides. I can combine some like terms. And backwards through PEMDAS. Divide both sides by 4. And we get that L equals 5 centimeters. All right, so the length of the rectangle is 5 centimeters. Let's do one more example and then I'll set you free. Why don't you try this one on your own? A flower bed is in the shape of a triangle with one side twice the length of the shortest side, and the third side is 30 feet more than the length of the shortest side. Find the dimensions if the perimeter is 102 centimeters. For the perimeter of a triangle is P equals side A plus side B plus side C. The 3 sides. So now we need to determine what we've got going on here. It says one side twice the length of the shortest side. And the third side is 30 feet more than the length of the shortest side. So let's call the shortest side A. A equals shortest. Oops, not being able to cross my T's there. So the purple side, let's call our B. B is twice the length of the shortest side. And C, the third side, other color. C, the third side, is 30 feet more than the shortest side. You can substitute in. So P, the perimeter, 102, equals A plus, instead of B, I'm writing 2A, plus, instead of C, 30 plus A. Now all I have to do is simplify, combine like terms, and life is good. So this gives me 102 equals 1A, and 2A is 3A, and another A is 4A, plus 30. Subtract 30 from both sides. 72 equals 4A. Divide both sides by 4. A equals 18. And what does that mean? 18 what? 18 is the shortest side, and it says find the dimensions. So that means I need to solve them all out. So the shortest side is 18. 2 times 18 would give me 32. And 18 plus 30 will give me 48. So the triangle has dimensions 18 by 32 by 48 feet. All right? Not too bad, right? Okay, so this is solving equations using a formula. It makes it much easier to write the equation when you know the formula. So I'd like you to do some more practice. Chapter 2-6A on MyMathLab. I believe, if I remember correctly, there are 6 problems. Remember to always show your work in your notebook. I'll be checking.